Hey, this is Beth over at the McGirt-Horton Branch Library, and I'm sitting outside in our beautiful outdoor garden space. And I'm going to be starting some pea plants using just the seeds, an egg carton, some takeout containers, some starting soil, and some water, and just some scissors to be able to cut these apart. And you can decide whether you want to cut yours apart or leave them together. It's up to you, but I'm going to cut these apart because then it will be easier to plant them into the ground. The first thing I'm going to do is cut apart the egg carton. Get a grown-up to help you if you need. So here we have our egg cartons. The next thing I am going to do is put some dirt in the egg cartons. Now that I have the soil in my containers, I'm going to put my little containers in their own tray. And you can use a takeout tray, you could use a pie plate, just something where you can put a little bit of water in the bottom. So I have my 6 little plants containers. Next, I have my seeds. So here are the pea seeds. They look like peas, don't they? They're peas that have been dried and now they're ready to grow into a plant. So we'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I made a little indentation, like a little nest for each one. Now with peas, they can actually be buried down to 1 inch deep. So I can push these down pretty far. And then I'm going to want to cover them up. Pat it down a little bit. We want to make sure these peas are covered. Make a nice bed for them to start to grow. Make sure I get the dirt nice and wet. I'm going to pour some extra water down here in the bottom. So you're going to want to watch your plants every day to make sure they still have water in the bottom. Get it nice and soaked and they can pull that water up from the tray. Doesn't look like much yet, does it? But it says on the package that these peas should only take 8 to 12 days to germinate, which means in 8 to 12 days, I should start to see a green little plant growing right out of this dirt. So I can't wait to see what happens. So stay tuned for our next video next month where we will see how big these plants are getting. If you're looking for some ideas for some gardening projects, we have quite a few books here at the Greensboro Public Library. Right now I have gardening projects for kids, Easy Peas, gardening for kids. This one works well since we're going to be growing some peas. The book of gardening projects for kids. Lots of ideas in here. Plants to grow, crafts to make, So come to the library, check them out.
Hi, my name is Samantha, and I'm the Adult Services Librarian at the McGirt-Horton branch of the Greensboro Public Library. Today I'm going to show you how I use these origami newspaper seed starting containers to start basil and kale seeds. Thank you for tuning in to our container gardening series. First, you'll want to label the containers with the seeds that you're planting. Do this as the first step so that you don't get them mixed up. Next, you'll want to poke holes in the containers so they have good drainage. Remember, the newspaper can get moldy, so you'll need to carefully monitor the water. Then you'll want to dampen your soil, as this gives your seedlings a better chance of rooting. Don't worry about the soil getting too wet. You can always add a little more soil if need be. Next, you'll want to add the soil to your containers and plant the seeds according to the instructions on the seed packet. Both kale and basil need to be planted about 1/4 of an inch deep, so they only need a light covering of soil over them. The seed packets also instruct you to only plant 2 to 3 seeds in each container so that you don't overcrowd them. As a last step, I'm covering half of my seed starting containers with plastic wrap, as I've read that this can create a greenhouse effect and keep the soil moist, which is good for seed starting. I'm going to keep the other half uncovered as an experiment to see which grows better. Now you'll want to find a sunny spot to put your containers in and cross your fingers that they grow.